Hi, I'm Ray.
And I'm Saren.
We're your Spider Baby hosts from To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast, as well as proud members of the collective.
You're listening to Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks. Enjoy the show.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks podcast.
I'm here for Peter. Thwip, thwip!
Guess who's back? It's time for Lil Hellfire's favorite episode of Ultimate Spider-Cast. Why? One after Atlantis attacks.
You caught me!
Welcome back. Oh, it's jokes galore. I am Phil. As I said, joining me as always,
Lilith, flippin' Hellfire!
And today we are covering Amazing Spider-Man 247 and 248. Spider-Man battles Thunderball and the correct Spider-Man. The backup story that's more well known than the actual movie. All right, kids, that's right. It's been a while since we've talked about something besides Atlantis attacks, so we'll take you a little further back in time because these were, I'm not pulling up the actual date, but it was, yep, this 247 cover dated December 1983.
Oof.
Yeah, I know.
Depending on the day.
I know, you weren't born, I know. I was 5. All right, so, yes, kids, these are old. All right, so, jump into...
Hey, this book has lived through 5 decades.
What? Oh. We got... boy, editor-in-chief comes first. That must be nice. Writer, Roger Stern. Penciler, John...
Was that like a bird?
What?
So editor-in-chief comes first. Must be nice.
Well, in the... Oh, hell. Well, in this list, Jim Shooter. Well, it's Jim Shooter, so... Writer, Roger Stern. Penciler, John Romita Jr. Inker, John Romita Sr.
Nepotism!
No, I think it's more like dad's checking on your work.
Oh, could you imagine? Go to work with your dad.
Especially when your dad's like one of the most well-known Spider-Man artists of all time. It's just like, yeah. Oh, damn, he's going to be going... He's literally going over every line I draw. That would be horrible. I mean, it's nice to have a, one of the classic artists, but like, Dad... colors Bob Sharon, letterer Joe Rosen. Yes, editor Danny Fingeroth. Oh, editor Danny Fingeroth, Tom DeFalco, and then...
Don't get fingered!
Ah! I love how she says don't play him, and then she calls him
Don't get fingered!
Alright, so, this one, Interruptions, it's called.
Uh-oh. Quitius Interruptus?
Hey-o. Alright, so, Spider-Man pays a visit to the shabby room rented out by a local stool pigeon named Nose Norton.
Rude.
Norton tries to flee from the wall crawler, but Spider-Man corners him, reminding the stoolie that he saved his life from both the Cobra and the Tarantula.
A hobgoblin costume? I don't think he was the real hobgoblin.
I know.
See issue 245.
Yes. This is back in the early Hobgoblin days where Spider-Man's trying to track down the original Hobgoblin.
Gobble, gobble! It came early this year. Hey-o.
Oh, I was going to say, he might actually listen to this one.
Gobble, gobble.
Once Norton has calmed down, Spider-Man asks Nose to tell him everything he knows about the Hobgoblin. Norton thinks Spider-Man is kidding as he read about the apparent death of the Hobgoblin in the newspaper. No, that'd be Lefty Donovan. We covered that a long time ago. Scroll way down.
And look who it is!
The web...
Bisexual Felicia!
Meow! Oh my. I'll have to find the episode and put the link in the show notes for when we covered the Lefty Donovan stuff. The web slinger corrects him, telling Norton that it was actually Lefty Donovan who died posing as the Hobgoblin, and the real one is out there somewhere. Regardless, Nose Norton has no information on the hobgoblin. Spider-Man tells Nose that if he hears anything to tell him right away and then departs. With the masked hero gone, Nose heaves a sigh of relief at the close call he just experienced. He was certain that Spider-Man had come for the object that was hidden under his bed. No, not that
Nobody wants your crusty sock, okay?
Nobody wants your liberal doll. Come on.
Can we shout out to how young Anna Watson looks in this issue, by the way?
How what?
How young Anna Watson looks.
Has she been talking to Mephisto?
I don't know, man. Aunt May looks decrepit. I remember they used to be contemporaries, is all I'm saying.
I was going to say, maybe by comparison, Anna looks young. Burn. He was certain that Spider-Man, he pulls out the musical instrument case inside and is glad that Spider-Man didn't find it, as it would have ruined his current plans.
To take over the world. Or at least New York City.
1 million.
New York City!
New York City. Meanwhile, Spider-Man is swinging across the city and is convinced that Nose Norton was telling the truth. His thoughts then move on to how helpful it would have been to know that the city was covering the Black Cat's hospital bills. Had he known that, he wouldn't have quit grad school. Yeah, sure.
And now you can't tell your aunt.
Yes, since the deed has already been done, Spider-Man decides it is for the best as he wants to experience more of the real world. Yeah, in a Spider-Man suit, okay.
Real world. You know what that means.
Hey, Mary Jane is back in town.
Well, she's pushing some old guy in a wheelchair, so, you know.
Hey-oh, she just wants us.
I said she a gold digger.
Oh, Anna Nicole's just going to marry him for his money.
Anna Nicole loved that, man. You take that back. You don't talk bad about my Anna Nicole Smith. She's a legend and an icon, and she was the moment, okay? Never talk bad about Anna Nicole Smith around.
Skyscraper, that's all I'll say. Collecting his street clothing, Spider-Man swings to a nearby restaurant where he changes into his civilian identity in the alley. Yeah, he's experiencing real life by changing clothes in an alley.
Better than a phone booth.
Hey-o. Peter then joins his Aunt May and Aunt Anna for dinner. And Anna Watson for dinner. Given the situation, Peter decides not to ruin Aunt May's good mood by telling her that he quit grad school.
You're full of lies, Peter. You're deceptive, Peter.
You sit on a throne of lies.
Maybe Peter's Mephisto and he just doesn't know it because, you know, psychosomatic.
Oh my God, that Osborn amnesia is strong. Maybe it is Norman.
It was secondhand amnesia.
Or maybe it's Norman. Maybe Norman's Mephisto and he just forgot. As the evening carries on, Peter tells the two women that he's glad that Mary Jane is not here as everyone else seems to be trying to match them up again. No sooner has Peter said this does Mary Jane arrive with May's fiancé, Nathan Lubinsky.
Nathan ruins everything. Oh, wait, that's Adam ruins everything. Never mind.
Don't worry. Someone gets the upper hand on him eventually. That's someone? Gravity. After having dessert and everyone begins parting company, Peter tells Aunt May that he isn't upset that they tried to play matchmaker with him. She's hot. That's okay. May tells Peter that he and Mary Jane have so much in common that Peter thinks, as they both have...
What do they really have in common besides old crotchety aunts that want them to be together? Honestly, what? I'll wait.
Tragedy.
Oh my God. It's not even that big of a tragedy.
I know.
For Mary Jane, anyway. As we see when she goes to Pittsburgh, but whatever.
When Peter parts company, he begins to wonder what Aunt May meant by this. And Lilith Hellfire. By this time, Nose Norton is heading off to offload the object he has in his case, unaware that Spider-Man slipped a spider tracer into the brim of his hat.
Oh, it actually worked? What,
the spider tracer?
That spider tracer actually lasted this time? He's getting better at this, kids. It's only 246 issues.
It's been 20 years, Lilith Hellfire. You got the hang of it now. He follows Norton into a warehouse. Inside, Spider-Man spies from the rafters as Norton sells the object to a gang leader for a large sum of money and sent on his way. Yeah, he walked in, slammed that case on the table, and went,
"Need the money, gimme." And here goes Peter. Flip! And a click.
whoa. Yes.
Oh, look at him how he's coming out of the skylight. It's like balls first, bro. Like,
Whoa.
it's ting ting ting-a-lin, ting ting. Look at the panel.
I know, man. It's all sorts of
couple of balls down the gob.
Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
Couple of balls down the gob.
But yeah, well, speaking of this, I mean, that's where the cover image comes from. What did you think of this cover?
It was a choice.
I mean, the artwork was okay, but yeah, it's like all you see is like Spider-Man's shadow, like, you know, coming over the gang member. It's like
he's a spider shadow. Shh.
Except for his shadow, it's just like a bunch of guys with guns standing on the cover. It's just kind of weird.
It was a choice, like I said. It's like,
the artwork's great.
You put Spider on the cover always.
Exactly. After setting up his camera to take photos, an arc sodium lamp on the roof of the building turns on. This casts Spider-Man's shadow right on the plans and the cover. The gang is spread out on a table, blowing his element. I think they meant element of surprise because someone wrote disguise.
Turtle.
While Spider-Man is busy with the thugs, their leader shows that he has enhanced strength by tossing a massive crate at the wall crawler, which the hero manages to dodge.
I mean, big whoop. Have you met the strong men in the world? They can do that easily.
I know. He's got a thing for Hobgoblin right now.
Gobble gobble.
Whoa.
If you don't see the subtext, I don't know what to tell you.
Lil sees it everywhere.
Gobble gobble.
Because I know Lilith likes it long.
What a creepy voice.
Leave our triplet alone.
I know. Before Spider-Man can wrap up this battle, he is interrupted by the novice superhero known as Charlie Esser's favorite, Frogman. While Spider-Man tries to get Frogman's...
Ribbit.
Whoa.
More like crickets.
While Spider-Man tries to get Frogman's spring boots under control, the gang escapes with the object they bought by Nose Norton. With the crooks gone, Spider-Man helps up Frogman and tells the kid to get out of the superhero racket before he gets hurt.
Are we not going to talk about how Frogman looks like a bootleg Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costume? We're not going to talk about it? We're not? Okay.
Well, the kid basically, wasn't his dad like a criminal and used this suit?
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. It looks like a bootleg Ninja Turtle. That's all I'm saying.
Know. But that's like your, that was some 1960s, probably, created by Stan Lee. And whoever his artist was, yeah. Oh, good Lord. I know. I mean, without slap a shell and a mask on that thing, it does look like a Ninja Turtle. Madness. With the crooks gone, however, Frogman doesn't want to give it up. So
he's a redhead, so naturally.
Oh, stubborn. So Spider-Man gets him the promise to at least practice using his spring-loaded boots before going out on patrol again.
See Marvel Team Up 121 and 131.
All right, hold on.
We're doing me now?
What? Yes, we are. Since you read the synopsis, I figure I'm going along panel by panel as you do it. So
nice. But no, I mean, when we did that Eternity Century Marvel team up, Charlie was so excited because he thought that was the Frogman issue. He's like, "Oh, is it Frogman? Yes, I'm there." I'm like, "No, it's not Frogman." I've told him
weirdo.
so many times, I'm like, "It's not Frogman."
We love our resident weirdo. We do.
He's like, "Yes, it is." I'm like, "No, I just read it. It's not the Frogman."
He don't know numbers.
I know. He's just pretty. As Spider-Man web slings to the Daily Bugle, he tries to understand why people enjoy the lifestyle that he lives as a costumed hero.
Oh no, Black Cat, head of guilt. Oh no.
Recounting how this sort of romanticism is what led to the Black Cat getting hurt by another favorite of Charlie Esser's, Otto Octavius. That's when Spider-Man beat the crap out of him and put the fear of God in him. Later, after developing his photos in the Bugle's darkroom, Peter discovers that he managed to pick up details about the gang's plan.
If you learned, go to the learning annex and take a photography class. God!
Who, Peter or that timer?
Both. Peter's a terrible photographer.
Oh, yeah, because he
gets out on his good looks.
Because he's not holding the camera.
Gotta invest in a good camera that has autofocus and a good lens. Every photographer knows this. You can't depend on a point and click.
You at least better go take a class at the Kardashian School of Selfies. Come on, bro.
They don't even take their own selfies, so whatever. True story. Don't get me started.
Not even the naked ones?
Not even the naked ones.
Lazy. Back in my day, celebrities took their own naked pictures.
Well, they took their own home video on a terrible VHS. Back in my day.
Honk that horn, Tommy.
Back in my day, celebrities were, they F their way to the middle.
Whoa!
Sorry, Pam. Love your girl, but it's the truth.
Hey-oh. Tanya Harding. Oof. The next day, Spider-Man heads to a highway not far from Lake Ronkonkoma, where the gang members are waiting for an armored car to pass by. When it does, they use the
3:30 p.m.
I know.
I love this little panel. It's so cute.
When it does, they use the device in the case, an energy cannon, to blast the vehicle off the road.
Energy cannon activate?
Then they knock out the guards and use a tow truck to carry the armored car away.
Smart. That's very Fast and the Furious of them. Smart. I like it.
Their family. Spider-Man.
You're not going to talk trash about Fast and Furious. At least 1 through 7. I'll let you have 8 through 9. We'll see how 10 goes.
I need to drop. I love Fast and Furious.
I love the Fast and the Furious franchise. And every single person in that movie can get it.
Whoa! Men, women.
I didn't stutter.
Men, women, just pal on Lilith Hellfire.
The cars, whatever.
Whoa! Damn, stick shifts.
Really should talk to my therapist about that.
Oh my.
Oh my God, I love this guy. He's like, precisely, the gold shipment was a fabrication of mine.
Oh yeah, because he wanted the gang to help him because they get the source of his power back because after they tow the truck away, Spider-Man arrives on the scene moments later and learns from the guards what happened. He tracks the tow truck to a nearby garage where the crooks have just finished breaking their way into the armored vehicle. The leader pulls out a crate from inside and removes its contents. All right, kids, you ready for this? The enchanted crowbar that once belonged to the supervillain known as the Wrecker.
Joker, who killed crossover that you didn't expect.
Oh my God, can you imagine if you beat Jason Todd to death with an enchanted crowbar?
Oh my God. And hey, don't forget the wrecking ball.
Well, yes, the gang leader turns out to be Thunderball.
Oh Lord.
A member of the Wrecker's wrecking crew and armed with both the enchanted crowbar and his own enchanted wrecking ball.
Who is he, Miley Cyrus? What's going on here?
Oh my.
Couple of balls down the gob.
He tells his hired goons, yes, that he no longer needs them and has no intention of paying them either. This is not received.
Oh, come on, at least pay them. That's how you know you're super evil.
Evil. Well, yeah, when you name yourself after a Bond movie, yeah, you at least got to pay the help. But when the thugs try to attack their former employer, they discover he is far too powerful. They're knocked outside of the barn just as Spider-Man arrives on the scene. Now in full fancy man.
I love how it's like, obviously continued in next issue.
I know. Because now in his full fancy man costume, Thunderball sees the wall crawler and assures the masked hero that there is no way he can stop him now.
Somebody get Luke Cage on the phone. Somebody call Harlem.
Oh, good Lord. But yes, the whole Lefty Donovan thing from Amazing Spider-Man 245. Spider-Man saves Nose Norton from Cobra and the Tarantula in Amazing Spider-Man 231 and 233. And of course, yes, Black Cat was injured in Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man 76.
Hey!
And Peter quit grad school in Amazing Spider-Man 243. He learned that the city was picking up the Cat's hospital bills in Peter Parker, The Spectacular Spider-Man 84. Oh, and then we didn't mention this. Yeah, Nathan was telling Mary Jane he worked with the Ritz brothers, who were a comedy trio active mostly on stage between 1925 and 1960. Yes, of course, should be considered a topical reference, sliding time. Spider-Man says that...
screw it.
And another...
Deal with my green screen, guys. Sorry.
That's fine. And another topical reference, Spider-Man says something about Thug going 10 rounds with Larry Holmes, a professional boxer who's active at the comic book's publication date but retired in 1986.
Damn. He's been retired as long as I've been alive.
Hey-o. That's right. He's like, oh, someone's been born who can slap men around. I can retire.
Finally, the chosen one has been born.
The Antichrist has been born.
Mom always did say I was hellspawn, so...
Hello.
Let's talk about the kid who collects Spider-Man.
Well, first we got to wrap up this Thunderball.
Do we?
Oh, come on.
I'm kidding. It's not that bad. It could be Atlantis attacks. It's not that bad.
And there's ball jokes in there somewhere.
We've done the wrecking ball joke. Couple of balls down the gob. What else do we got?
I don't know. Oh, Lord. The title for this one, and he strikes like a thunderball.
He came in like a thunderball?
Well, balls to the wall action, kids.
Hey-oh, that's next issue, technically, but...
Hey-oh. Thunderball has recovered the crowbar wielded by his former boss, the Wrecker, from a prison armored car. With the crowbar and his own wrecking ball, Thunderball's strength has now doubled. The only person now standing in his way is Spider-Man, who is more concerned with getting Thunderball's former minions to safety. Again,
Spider-Man!
I know he's
Spider-Man!
I know this guy and his buddies have gone up against Thor, but I mean, Spider-Man's already battled the Juggernaut. I'm like, okay.
Excuse you. When you say Juggernaut, you know what you have to say.
The Juggernaut!
The effing Juggernaut! Come on!
He's the effing... Oh, we got to do that story. We have to do that story someday, just so every 2 seconds we say, the effing Juggernaut!
Can we do it on Patreon so we don't have to use... We can use the real word. We can use the actual drop.
That's right. Ultimate Spider-Cast annual. And you can only get it on Patreon because we're going to be using the Juggernaut's full name.
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
It's decided. Sorry, kids.
Sometime this summer we're doing it. So the only person in his way is Spider-Man, who's more concerned with getting Thunderball's former minions to safety. As Thunderball leaves the scene, Spider-Man gets to a phone and calls the authorities for help. Not far away.
When you're a vigilante, you gotta call the police for help. Batman could never. They follow him.
Hey guys, call the Avengers. Not far away, Thunderball marvels over his increased strength and considers himself a one-man wrecking crew. While he is distracted, Spider-Man gets the drop on him and manages to snatch away the Wrecker's crowbar. Although Spider-Man has taken the weapon from Thunderball, its power is still transferring to him. Thanks to his enhanced speed and agility, Spider-Man is able to keep on the defensive, but the wall-crawler lures Thunderball out to an electrical transformer. There he tosses the crowbar back to his foe. As Thunderball grabs the crowbar, just as Spider-Man webs up a wire to the crowbar, sending thousands of volts of electricity into the villain.
Thwip, thwip! Surprise!
That's right, kids. Conducts electricity. This doesn't stun Thunderball overly much, and he tosses his wrecking ball at the web slinger. Spider-Man dodges it and attaches another wire to that weapon as well. When Thunderball grabs it, it completes a circuit between him and the Transformer.
I'm just personally offended that so many black heroes and villains have electricity powers. That is so lazy. I'm just saying.
Is it a cliche?
It is totally a cliche, and annoys me.
Why do you think that is? Or are they just
because most black characters were created by white people who just like it was kind of a mandate. That's just kind of my personal take on it.
Or were they just like, oh, we've heard
or they have the Luke Cage route. They're invulnerable or electricity powers. Those are like the two most like prevalent things with black superheroes and villains specifically. And I don't know. Is it because black people do the electric slide? Like, I just can't figure it out. I don't know.
I mean, unless it's just like lazy writing. It says like, oh, I've heard of Black Lightning or I've heard of Luke Cage.
Yeah, it's just kind of like a copy and paste thing. And it's like, even to some extent, Storm, like, oh, what does she use most? Her lightning powers, right?
Mm-hmm. True.
Yes! Thank you! We do need more black skill-based heroes, whoever you may be. I don't think it's Ray Ray.
I was going to say, I think it's the middle of the night for Ray, so.
Might be Chad.
Yeah, I usually got to check on my phone. Yes, that is Chad. The power of Chad.
Thank you, power Chad.
Yeah, all these writers. I'm not racist. I've read 2 Luke Cage comics.
Yeah, that's all. That's why I kind of prefer black creators doing, black characters, because at least they can, what they want to see, they can like make that happen instead of just copy paste the same power set.
Mm-hmm.
Just something I wanted to bring up. Sorry.
That's okay.
Sorry for being Lilith.
No, that's fine. But yes, he completes the search.
But Thunderball would be badass. They just, I don't know, they forget about him.
Although Thunderball continues to shrug this off, he is unaware that he is causing the Transformer to overload. Spider-Man runs the cover, ushering the arriving police officers to safety. Suddenly, the Transformer explodes with enough force to knock out Thunderball. With the battle over,
But honestly, think about it too. A crowbar, that's the best you can give them. That's the best. The wrecking crew, like, it's a little too urban.
The wrecker had the wrecking. That bar.
Yeah.
But so the black man carries the giant ball, Lilith,
and a crowbar, like, because you're breaking. I don't know. Like, maybe I'm thinking about it too deep, but
he just grabbed the crowbar because that's the source of all their powers.
But why? It didn't have to be.
Ask Stan. I don't know.
I could if I would, and when I get to heaven for them to tell me no, I'll be like, can I just have 2 minutes with Stanley, please?
Would that be utterly tasteless to try to have like an online seance to try to contact Stanley?
Yes, it would be. I would have let him rest in peace wherever he may be. He's done enough for us in his lifetime.
He's up there getting in Bob Kane's face. Look how many movies my characters had. Because I think
they definitely have a poker table going for sure.
I think that was one of the stories, like in '89. Bob Kane was like, "Where's Spider-Man's movie?"
Well, we got news for you, buddy.
Now Stanley can be like, "How many? We've had what? Like, we're gonna have like."
They've had just as many Spider-Mans as we've had Batmans, though.
7, almost 8.
Or they will.
We're gonna have 8 best Spider-Man movies. The Avengers had, Iron Man had a movie. Come on.
But Iron Man was always low-key great. Y'all just were slow to the party, that's all.
Oh, I've been standing Iron Man since the late 80s. Come on. All right, with the battle over, Spider-Man is swarmed by reporters who are less interested in the Wallcrawler's battle with Thunderball and more interested in his comments on creating the largest traffic jam on the nearby expressway.
Only in New York! Waka, waka, waka!
Unsurprised by the lack of gratitude, Spider-Man leaps into the back of a pickup truck, heading back to the city so he can get back home.
See you later, bunkies!
Is there a traffic jam? How's he going anywhere?
He's flipping his way down. Come on, Philip. He's flipping his way downtown.
It's Ronkonkoma. They're the tall building. All right. Before we get to the kid who collects Spider-Man, what did you think of the Thunderball story?
I mean, I would love to see Thunderball in more capable hands that could have some like critical thought about the characters. Just make it a little more updated. Just kind of a jokey 1.5 off. Like he couldn't even get the full second issue.
I know that was weird that we couldn't get like 2 full issues, but it's like, I guess you don't want to make him too capable because he's just fighting Spider-Man. Like if he's fighting Thor the Hulk, he's going to be a lot more capable.
Yeah, no, those issues are a little bit better, but yeah.
Yeah, you want to like really overpower him, so and be like, how?
I definitely think this is like one of those underrated stories that people probably skip. So I think it's worth reading. It's got a lot of action and fun. Not a lot of characterization though, which I'm okay with.
Yeah, and I mean
sometimes you just need to punch them up, and that's fine.
And it's so weird because it's like I think this upcoming backup is more it's more well known than the actual Thunderball story.
It is. But again, it's Thunderball, and he's a black character, so that is what it is.
I was looking at the notes. Yeah, Thunderball. Yes, he was recounting his last battle against Iron Man 171, so that was Jim Rhodes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, of course. They never put him up against the regular Iron
Man. Hey, we got a new black Iron Man. Who can we have him fight? How about a black supervillain?
And I'm surprised, honestly, they didn't make him go have lunch with like Luke Cage or something. Oh, actually they did. Never mind, I take that back. Wasn't necessarily lunch, but they totally did do a thing with Luke Cage, so never mind, I take that back.
They had him fight Thunderball, then a few months later he fought the Mandarin. Something a pattern here, kids?
Oh yeah.
Oh, and the Wrecking Crew. I thought they got him in Thor, but no, the Wrecking Crew got their powers in Defenders 18.
That's all you need to know. The Defenders, bro.
Oh.
I mean, not saying nothing, but saying something.
There's some hidden gems in Defenders, and then there's some utter nonsense. So.
I'll say it's long stretches of utter nonsense, a hidden gem, and then another long stretch of nonsense.
I just read one because it was a crossover with Captain America, but I mean, DeMatteis was on there. DeMatteis was on there for a while, so I mean, it wasn't too bad. Oh,
was he? Was it toward the tail end?
It was like, what was the crossover issue? It was like 105 or 106. So yeah, it's like
okay. I never made it that far. I probably made it to like issue 41. I think, if I remember right, that's what I've collected up to.
So yeah, I don't know exactly when he started, but it's around issue 100. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So should we get to the kid who collects Spider-Man?
Let's do it. I don't know why this is so known. It's not that great, if I'm being honest. Unpopular opinion. My bad.
Who drew it, Lilith Hellfire?
This is Comics Illustrator Ron Friends, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
I think it's just I mean, I know this isn't your...
The story's very basic and self-fulfilling.
I don't think it's...
I guess I liked it as a kid, but I don't like it as an adult.
I think it's the emotional impact. I know that's not your strong suit, but...
It's really not.
Human emotions, I know. Oh, jeez. Chad, Hulk being distracted by picking up a ton of beans was a strange point in Defenders. I cannot remember the issue number. I think it was in some collection I read as a kid. There was like... Hulk was like hanging out with a hobo and they were eating baked beans. That is like one of the weirdest.
Hulk is a hobo. That's the joke.
Torn pants? You're right. I don't think I ever got that analogy.
He's going from town to town. I'm just saying.
Can't keep a job because of his rage issues. Okay. I got you.
Wait a minute. Who is he, Lola? Comic books really did shape me.
Who is he?
I really have to talk to my therapist about this. I'm like, you should listen to my podcast. It'll explain everything you need to know.
Well, I think I got to the root of your problem after I got waded through all those penis jokes. Oh, he's millennial Hellfire. Can't keep a job because of his rage issues.
Smash it. I hate people who are not competent at their job. Like I can't stand it. Smash it.
Oh Lord, how'd that interview go?
We'll see. We'll see when the background check comes back. I don't know. I got sketch vibes.
Wasted a Saturday for nothing. Oh my God, can you imagine? Did I get the job? Well, you have to listen to this podcast next episode to find out if you got the job.
And leave a rate, review, and subscribe.
Did I get the job? I don't know. Did you subscribe to the Patreon?
Exactly.
I do one of the middle tiers, not the lowest one. Slacker. All right. So
the boy who collects Spider-Man.
The kid who collects Spider-Man. Timothy Harrison was different from most boys his age. While he enjoyed the majority of the normal pastimes of his fellow 9-year-olds, Tim had one particular interest that set him apart. Tim collected anything and everything to do with Spider-Man.
Also, Tim. He prefers not to be called Timmy, and he also loves Star Wars movies. He's seen it 12 times. That's cute. I've seen it 97 times. Suck it, Tim.
Because it's 1983. So when he...
The long game, because now Disney owns Marvel and Star Wars.
Ooh.
Spooky.
So when he shut off the light in his room and prepared for an uneventful night of sleep, he was more excited than most would be when a certain wall crawler decided to pay him a visit. I don't know. I think Jameson would get excited. Spider-Man first heard about Timothy from an article in the Daily Bugle by columnist Jacob Conover. Oh, God.
Yeah, that's worse than you, but okay.
Can't even be the original Rose.
Burn!
What's worse than the original Rose? Rose number 2.
Burn.
Roses really smell like doo-doo.
Oh, jeez.
Thank you, Andre 3000.
You're welcome, and any potential suitors of Lilith Hellfire. Don't get her roses.
Orchids, lilies, or tulips only. I'm allergic to roses.
Oh, good Lord. She likes tulips, kids.
Ha ha! Hey-oh. I would hope everybody likes tulips, but, you know.
Hey-oh!
No judgments, no kink shame.
I know.
Who's not real, Tim? Me?
Chad said,
look at this kid's face.
Chad said, this is getting creepy. Spider-Man breaking into a kid's room at night?
Uh-huh. But it was the 80s. That was okay.
Jameson was... I know, man. We could go outside all day and all night, and our parents say, yeah, no problem. Jameson was right. Timothy had scrapbooks overflowing with newspaper and magazine articles about his idol, and even video footage from Spider-Man's early TV appearances. What on
Look how he's rubbing this kid's head, bro. How come I came to see you?
Warning.
Okay.
Yeah. Creep alert.
Danger, Tim.
I was gonna say he has footage. What, on Betamax?
He wishes.
I know. The newspaper profile.
You know how much a working Betamax tape and tape player costs? It's a lot.
$1 million.
More like $2,500 if it's in really good condition, working order. But yeah.
The newspaper profile on Timothy inspired Spider-Man to take a rare respite from crime fighting and meet his #1 fan face to face. Zip drives. No, Timothy, not Lilith Hellfire. Oh no, Lilith Hellfire is like
floppy disk. It's right next to what was that game?
I thought it was a hard drive.
Dysentery. You have dysentery. His Oregon Trail. His copy of his Oregon Trail game.
Not to spill too much tea, but I mean, for her porn, Lilith Hellfire has like server farms.
Yeah, I got kicked off of Plex, but I don't want to talk about it.
Whoa!
It's a joke. For legal purposes, this is a joke.
I don't want to know what you're watching. Jeez. But what Spider-Man...
The pirate movies are just really, really well done, okay?
Arby, matey.
Okay, but the pirate movies are very well done.
Sliding down poles.
Someone's spending her weekend. But what?
No, I started my Arrow rewatch. That's how I'm spending my weekend.
What, you, Diane?
Miserable.
What, you, Diane, your sister-in-law?
No. Oh. Hey-oh.
I saw you were doing an Arrow rewatch, man. I'm like almost done with my Flash rewatch.
Seasons 1 through 3. I might take a break after that.
You have failed this city. But what Spider-Man hadn't taken into consideration was that Timothy was a New Yorker and prone to being a bit skeptical. When Spider-Man lifted...
Yeah, whatever. I bet you're a Boston pizza owner.
Oh, I know. 9 years old and he's just...
Yeah, whatever.
What'd you say, Boston pizza owner?
I thought they were Boston pizza owners.
I hope Ray listens to this.
Thwip, he better. Ray's not gonna hear this.
Oh, good Lord. So, when Spider-Man lifted the boy in his bed above his head with hardly any effort, Tim soon realized that he was actually in the presence of his favorite hero.
What's that? What's in that jar? His teeth?
Whoa, Lilith.
The nut jar. I don't know what's going on.
Ecstatic about meeting his idol, Tim showed off his scrapbook collection to his visitor. They flipped through newspaper articles dating back to the beginning of Spider-Man's career and discussed exactly how Spider-Man got his powers.
But does he have his book, though? If you're a real fan, do you have my book?
What, Webs? This is before Webs.
Dang it. This is old!
I know, told you. Spidey even gave his biggest fan a tutorial on how his web shooters worked.
Idiot. Now he's going to grow up to be the world's greatest villain, if he grows up.
I was going to say, stay tuned, Lilith.
I don't want to spoil it in case nobody's actually ever read this issue. But I don't know who wouldn't know.
But Tim was a curious boy and wasn't about to pass up this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He asked Spider-Man exactly why he gave up his life of fame and fortune and began fighting crime in the first place. Okay, cue the great power, great responsibility music.
Get that liver, get ready! Over the teeth and through the gums! Look out, stomach, here it comes!
Oh, yeah!
And surprisingly, Spider-Man was honest with the young man. He told him about the burglar he failed to stop and about how that man went on to murder someone who was very close to him. Somehow, Timothy understood and couldn't begrudge his hero for the mistakes of his past. The conversation grew lighter then as the two continued their trip down memory lane. Tim showed Spider-Man bullets he had dug out of a wall of a bank on one occasion. So he ran off with evidence. Jeez.
Only in New York.
I know. On one occasion, after some attempted robbers fired at Spidey and missed. The two even shared a good laugh at a scrapbook Tim kept of retractions that J. Jonah Jameson had been forced to print in the Daily Bugle after he'd been proven...
I like this kid.
After he'd been proven wrong on his assumptions about the wall crawler. Soon, Spider-Man realized how late it was getting, so he tucked the boy in and walked away toward the window to make his exit. But just as Spider-Man was...
Hey, Spider-Man! Will you tell me who you really are?
Yes, as he's about to leave, Tim called out one last favor of our hero. He asked Spider-Man if he would take off his mask and show him his true face. And to his surprise, Spider-Man did just that.
He pulled the Lex Luthor. Yeah, I don't know who this is. God, I love Justice League animated series.
Oh, Chad says this kid is a menace. Well, look who his idol is.
Exactly.
Corrupting our youth. I'm surprised Jameson didn't write that. Corrupting our youth. Spider-Man told the boy that his real name was Peter Parker, that he was the photographer for the Daily Bugle. So I'm the one who's been messing with the news. And that he has shot most of the pictures in the articles that they had just flipped through. Amazed by the...
Notice how the kid only saved the articles and not the pictures. Just saying.
Gee, mister, you really should have taken a class at the community college.
Just saying. I mean, while you were at freaking your university, you could have took an elective.
Can you imagine if the 9-year-old was like, yeah, you really should have taken a class in photography? Amazed by the trust...
He's just a kid! They pulled the old Spider-Man movie. He's just a kid!
I know. Amazed by the trust his hero placed in him, young Tim swore himself to secrecy and gave Spider-Man Peter Parker a hug before he left. Yeah, because Pete's like, you can't tell anyone. He's like, I promise, for the rest of my life, I won't tell. And Peter's like, yeah, I know you will.
I know you won't.
Spider-Man cast a few web lines and then departed out of the boy's window. A second later, Spider-Man paused on a nearby wall and took a moment to collect himself. And then he swung into the night away from the Slocum Brewer Cancer Clinic. Because Tim Harrison was different from most boys his age, Tim Harrison had been diagnosed with leukemia and only had a few more weeks to live.
Aww. The end.
I mean...
What?
I mean, I know he probably knew his diagnosis already, but it's like, once Pete took that mask off, you'd be like, okay, thanks for reminding me. I'm going to die soon. What if the kid only picks up volume for the articles?
Nice.
I only read that rag, the Daily Bugle, for the articles.
The Spider-Man articles, nothing else. Sorry, Ben Urich, you suck.
Just what every young lad keeps by his bedside.
Everyone is creepy here. I agree.
Everyone is creepy. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of a downer. I think that, again,
he was like, shh, don't say anything. Save your strength. Those vibes, man. I don't know what they were doing in the 80s, but those vibes, bro, were not it. It was sus as heck, man.
But now, we really see how selfish Spider-Man is. I mean, he made a deal, well, supposedly, until they retcon this. He made a deal with Mephisto for Aunt May, but, for this...
Well, Tim's gotta die. He knows his secret. It's kind of like Barry when he told all the secrets to those one guys in season 4 that were doing the thinker. Well, y'all know my secret, so obviously y'all are gonna die because you're not Ralph.
Yeah, but Aunt May knew at that point, and Mephisto wiped everyone's memory, supposedly.
We'll find out if that's all true eventually, I hope.
Know. It's all a trick by the chameleon. Okay, we should talk.
It's Mysterio. Get it right.
We should talk about... No, we should talk about that. All right, but before then, okay, so what did you think of Lilith Hellfire?
Like I said, as a kid, totally love that particular story, but as an adult, you just see how saccharine and sappy it is. But it's cute. But the Thunderball stuff was fun. I just wish they were more thoughtful about the actual villain. That's all.
And again, he only got an issue and a half. We really didn't get like a big fight, man. I mean, yeah, there were a couple... Yeah,
and the conclusion of it was just like, oh, I'll get you yet, my pretty. Like, oh, okay.
I mean, at least the Juggernaut battle lasted 2 whole issues.
There you go.
And Firelord.
I wonder if they forced him to... I wonder if they was like an editorial mandate, because that just seems like an odd choice that most people wouldn't make on their own.
Oh, what? The Thunderball?
Thunderball.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were going to say the backup story, because I don't think we were getting a ton of backup stories at this point.
Must have been cancer awareness, the first cancer awareness week or something.
or you know why it might be an issue and a half? Because when I did talk to Ron Friends, those 2 Firelord issues, he said originally I think that was supposed to be for an annual, but then they just chopped it up and put it in. So maybe that makes sense. Maybe this was for an annual or something.
That makes sense, actually, yeah.
So
yeah, solid B+ for average for both stories. Like I said, it's definitely underrated, and it's worth having in your collection if you don't already have it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it collected anywhere, or is it just?
I know it's on Marvel Unlimited. I don't know if it's collected anywhere. Wait, Shocker is. Wait.
Exactly my point, kiddo. Exactly my point.
Shocker is black in the MCU. Which one? There's more than one, wasn't there? You're the new Shocker.
And they were all black, though. Yeah, it's kind of weird how Vulture had a lot of black sidekicks. I don't want to get into it. Don't get me started on Spider-Man Homecoming. There's a lot of issues with black people in that movie, but we're just going to keep going. Michael Keaton was great, though. Can't take that away from him.
Exactly. All right, but we mentioned, and I know Charlie wanted to talk to us on super connectivity, and I'd set him straight on a few things. But Amazing Spider-Man 67, did you read that?
Of course I did. And if I could break away from the sweet, sweet Spider-Man hold that Marvel has on me, I'd be scot-free, I tell you, because the X-Men ain't doing it for me.
So are we cleaning up this whole, Teresa Parker's his sister thing with like, oh, hey, Chameleon's like, hey, remember when I made some like robots of his parents? Hey, what do you think you are?
Yeah. Too bad. I don't feel like that was the original plan, so I don't like that.
I know.
It's like, don't be afraid to do what you were going to do.
They wanted to get rid of the parents. They made them robots. Now they want to get rid of the sister, make her a robot. But hey, what a
it's always robots. Either it's Doombots or clones. Yeah. Like, I can't.
And boy, what a coincidence. That whole robot plan was, the Chameleon executed it, but it was planned by Harry.
Well, will history repeat itself? Why, I think it will. Sir.
Oh, but then, Charlie doesn't have the history, but we get pregnant Betty Brant, and, it's like, oh, she got knocked up by Ned's clone, but it's like, oh, is this the real Ned back?
This is what we're doing now?
Well, no, I was saying, since it's not Harry, is Ned Leeds kindred?
Finally, Ned gets his time to shine after they were threatening us with it.
I mean, they basically just use him as, oh, he's the real Hobgoblin, he's dead, and it's like, a couple years later, no, he's not. He just got killed for no reason. So is he kindred?
Revenge is a dish best served cold, apparently.
He would have.
That would be the plot twist I would be okay with.
He would have a revenge list like, Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I mean, the Foreigner killed him for Mackindale, so it's like the Foreigner was in these issues. He could go after the Foreigner.
Are they willing to do it? I think so. I think we're just about desperate enough, so I'll go with that.
Roderick Kingsley.
Do you think they wrote it without knowing? Did they pull an Arrow season 5?
I mean, they could have.
Or whatever it was.
Again, issue 67, we're still doing this. It's like, okay.
No, Ned does justice for Ned.
Oh, people, what were you saying? They were like, okay, it's Harry. Oh, wait, people weren't thrilled with Harry. Okay, it's Ned Leeds.
Who? I don't even know who that is.
That's right, kids. Killed it back in Amazing Spider-Man 289. What was that, like 1987?
289! A billion years ago.
Yeah, it's because legacy numbering. This is 868.
You know what? I'll allow it for Spider-Man. I don't even care. Actually, it simplifies the timeline when you think about it.
Remember that guy that got killed 620 issues ago? Well, he's back.
A mess. A pure, utter mess, and I love it.
Ned's dead, baby. What? Is that a reference?
Ned Flanders? What?
Oakley Dokley.
Yeah, current Spider-Man is a mess, and I don't know how they're going to write themselves out of this corner. Because I feel like they wrote it and they didn't know who it was going to be.
And, I mean, the most... we say how people get bad names. I mean, again, he was in one issue, Amazing Spider-Man Annual 5, supposedly. I don't know if it's Kindred or whoever brings back the actual guy who pulled the trigger on Peter Parker's parents, the Finisher.
Finish him! I was like, who is this guy? Batman? They want Spider-Man to be Batman so bad now. Joe Chill. That's his real name, Joe Chill.
Finish him. I mean, you call someone the Finisher, he only can only have one of 3 jobs. Supervillain, wrestler, or porn star. It's like...
Fluffers actually don't exist in modern day porn. Just saying.
Did you take a tour of the set, love? Jeez.
I have friends that used to do porn. They're retired.
I know. You said we're going to get me interviews. Get me interviews for Patreon.
Nobody wants to talk about their day job when they're a porn star. That's the thing.
Well, they're retired. It's not their day job.
It's their hobby now.
Oh, my. Only that. Oh, my God. I'm going to say, yeah, bring your friends on who did porn.
Oh, he just called you a rube. Okay. Nice one.
Okay, Carney.
You damn square. Squares and rubes as far as the eye can see.
I mean,
Bender?
And I mean, we don't have to mention it, but I mean, real quick, I guess we should mention Nonstop Spider-Man 3, which is going to take a break. So yes, it's false advertising.
It's never coming back.
False advertising.
That book wasn't really, it's not doing the best, and I'm not interested in it anymore. I just want my Into the Spider-Verse #2. That's all I care about. That's like the only other thing outside of the main Spider-Man books that I care about. I don't care about the MCU movies. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean,
I'm too old. Tom Holland ain't it for me, bro. I'm too old. I'm out.
I love Spider-Man, but yeah, Nonstop Spider-Man, it's just basically just, right now it's just like a buddy cop with him and Nora Winters, and it's like, I
don't even like Nora Winters, so.
The Zapata brothers, who I think have made 2 total appearances in the Marvel Universe. I'm like, why do I care about these guys? I think they showed up in a Moon Knight story.
So maybe Ray's invested. I don't know.
Like one Moon Knight story, and then I think they showed up in a Deadpool team-up book. So.
Oh yeah, didn't we cover that Deadpool team-up book?
What the F?
We covered some of the issues, but I don't know if we covered that one. So it's like, I'm like, we need Mexican wrestlers in this story? Nonstop Spider-Man? Nacho!
Well, you can't get the Lobos brothers. Who are you going to call? Zapatos!
Mexican wrestlers, not mutant werewolves, though.
Same difference to the writers, I feel like.
Oh, please.
Just saying, everything's interchangeable.
The Lobos have fallen far. The last time I remember seeing them is they were fighting, they were in Kane's Scarlet Spider book. Not even Riley, Kane's Scarlet Spider book.
Yep. Oh, Spider history's a mess, and I love it.
Maybe we're cleaning this up now. I have no idea what they're doing.
But yeah, I think that book's on the way to getting canceled for sure. If you have to stop making a book, it's probably on its way out. I mean, they're letting them wrap up the story.
Yeah. Oh, of course you are, Chad. He's actually doing the Down South arc later this month on ITK.
It's like Moon Knight Into the Night. The Moon Knight podcast is always right on time. Like whatever you're thinking, Ray's doing it.
It's a lot of meat. It's a lot of meat. Sucking the life force.
Whoa.
Yes, Chad.
I don't know what you boys get up to over on the Scarlet Sausage Fest, but
It was just a really nice package.
definitely gonna have to come over one day and break up that sausage fest.
Sorry, Lilith. I know we have innocent episodes when you're on.
How hard is it?
Ray, are you hearing this?
Ray's not gonna hear this. He might. It's Spider-Man. He'll get caught up after he's done editing that new episode.
So, okay. So yes, kids. So stay tuned. You want to learn about the Zapata brothers? Yes. Go check out Into the Night, the Moon Knight podcast when Ray and Chad go down south.
Talk about a couple balls on the gob, eh?
Whoa!
You like that one, Ray?
A couple of balls down the gob. It's a lot of
But
meat.
on that note, we should give them homework.
Sucking the life force.
All right, let me pull up the schedule here. Yeah. So, I know next episode is going to be a sausage fest. So let me just pull that up.
I love our branding. Here's a Scarlet Spider sausage fest for you.
I love Lilith Hellfire. I love this branding. Who came up with it? I did. All right. Yes. Next time. Yes. Ray will be back, and hopefully Matt Kona for another Scarlet Spider episode. This time, Time Bomb from Spectacular Spider-Man 228 and Web of Spider-Man 129, the final issue.
The final countdown.
And then in July, do you remember what our theme is for July, Lilith Hellfire?
Oh no, I burned it out of my memory. What is it?
Black Widow.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, so in July we'll be covering Marvel Team Up 57. And then,
Okay.
Yeah, a bunch of Marvel Team Ups, yeah. Marvel Team Up
No.
82 through 85, and then Marvel Team Up 98.
Okay, yeah, no, those are doable. Those are good.
Yeah, we're doing Marvel Team Ups here, and then we're doing over on The Devil You Know, 2 Daredevil
The
with Black Widow.
Daredevil podcast. Featuring a Mr. D.G. Chichester.
Oh, in July, he's not going to be on The Devil You Know. We're going to do a special episode where we talk that Black Widow Punisher story of his.
Yeah.
So, yes, kids, July, Black Widow. I wonder why. So go check it out.
All that effort for it. Never mind.
Whoa! Little
For a movie that's been like stalled for how many times?
Little over a year. COVID. But yes, I agree. They could have put it out on Disney Plus. I know. So that's coming out. Yeah.
I don't know. Nobody was willing to buy Cruella, and that's got like a 97% Rotten Tomatoes rating.
Don't say anyone. I had to hear Charlie Esser's review of it last night on Super Connectivity. So don't say anyone.
He paid $30 for it. He didn't go to the movies.
He paid $30.
Well, talk about that two parent income.
I know. That's like a fancy job.
Holy crap!
So yeah. So and
Well, to be fair, $30 is like one person's ticket, one person's popcorn, one person's soda at a movie theater now.
Well, again, yeah. Too.
Shout out to AMC for the greatest comeback on the stock market.
I mean, you think about it. He takes the wife and 2 kids in the movie theater, tickets, and then any snacks. He's going to be spending at least $30. So.
Yeah, it's same difference, and at least his whole family can see it if they want to. I guess, even though you don't technically own it.
Can pause it.
Yikes.
What else?
Disney's getting their money out of those Disney nerds, I'll tell you what.
I know.
Except for me. But y'all be safe, though.
And speaking of, Loki's coming up on Wednesday, so. All right, kids.
Ugh.
Send your thoughts for the Sausage Fest or the Black Widow episodes. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, follow Ultimate Spider-Cast on Facebook, Twitter. Find links to all of the various social medias for all of our various shows. Links to this YouTube channel.
Links to the Southgate Media Group's Patreon, I would assume.
You can see the green door behind Lilith Hellfire. Immortal Hulk joke.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I know.
Don't be a rube.
Yeah, you read an Immortal Hulky Rube, Chad. Anyway, yeah, so, did you see, after Al's done with Immortal Hulk, he's taking over Venom?
Yeah, I saw that. I'm interested.
Yeah, me too. Charlie said he really wasn't, but yeah, I said I'm going to give it a chance.
Well, he's not a Venom guy, you know.
Yeah. He'll probably have to buy it for Tristan. Anyway, so yes, so links to our Patreon, all kinds of good stuff coming up there. Uncensored Wade's World, Hard R movie reviews, boob windows and long boxes,
superhero cribs. We might have to hire Ray to write a script because I don't want to do it. I'll send him some comics. He'll do it for comics.
Wait, did you buy it too, Chad? Dropkick Train Dalmatians? WTF? Dude, Blade got yeeted. What?
What?
Are you
these kids? These kids today?
Well, Chad trying to sound like the kids. Did you smoke a doobie, Chad?
Smoked a doobie.
It's good for glaucoma, elbow glaucoma.
I know, man. That glaucoma really seems to hit him on those Saturday mornings. Links. Links to Patreon, links to merch. Stay hydrated.
Oh, he is reading it. That's what he's talking about. All right.
Oh, yeah. Because he threw Blade. Yes. You're right. All right. So links to everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And please remember to support our sponsors, the Southgate Media Group.
Force of habit.
I know. But yes, go check out southgatemediagroup.com and also go, subscribe to our Patreon, but also subscribe to the Southgate Media Group Patreon. There's a ton of free content there. You can get all the regular podcasts from the network, and Rob's putting up some, the good stuff behind a paywall, so he's not there. So
it's Martha. She's worth it. It's fine.
Martha and Molly. Yeah, that's right. You want the good Southgates? Yes, pay for the Southgate Media Group Patreon. And also, you can also help support the Southgate Media Group by picking up Pod Life, the book, now in digital and paperback.
Be sure to use that link in the show notes.
That's right. To pick it up on Amazon. You could use that for anything on Amazon. Lilith knows. Lilith's keeping them in business. Use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes on Amazon. Help us support this show, the network, and that man with the big dangling
The man with the plan!
The man with the Thunderball, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain, so says Master Doom.
Might want to get that checked.
The guy who
Please kick me in the pants.
The man will hit you over the head with a podcast.
I get so much right. Mark my words.
Lilith.
If you nerds want to find me on Twitter, follow me at Lilith Hellfire, on Instagram at Lilith Hellfire69, and on TikTok at Lilith Hellfire69. I really need to get my Instagram followers up because I want to be a part of the Amazon influencer program. So I actually just realized I have to start making content. So please be sure to follow me there. It's all like fandom merch swag stuff, just as a warning in advance.
Hey, wait, I almost forgot again. We got Russell feedback. So you want to hear what he had to think about the Thunderball stuff?
Yes, I can't wait. I hope we get a great drop.
I almost forgot. He sent it to me like 2 months ago. All right, so here's what our friend Russell from Tomes of Evil had to think about Amazing Spider-Man 247, 248.
Hello, Capes and Lunatics crew. It is I, Russell, and I am here to give my feedback on Amazing Spider-Man number 247 and 248. Of course, I had to give my feedback on these Roger Stern penned issues. Man, this is one of the classics, but to be honest, I think I'd only read the second part of this. I hadn't read the first part. It's great. I don't know how else to say it. Roger Stern knows how to write Spider-Man so well. He's so quippy. He's so hilarious, but he still has that, mental health issues. He has exhaustion. He has, everyday problems that everyone has, and that's how Spider-Man should always be. We see him, kind of having this tension with Mary Jane, and he's worrying about the Black Cat still, and he's got one thing on his mind, and that's the Hobgoblin, which you can check out on my new show, The Hobgoblin Historio. Wink, wink. Anyway.
Russell, you do those shameless plugs and drops.
It was absolutely awesome seeing the Frogman. Frogman busting through like he's Batman, bouncing all over the place is definitely a highlight, for sure. And also, Thunderball, by himself, not with the other members of the Wrecking Crew. And he is a formidable opponent for the Amazing Spider-Man. And I'd really love to see a matchup between the Wrecking Crew and the Juggernaut. That would just be incredible. But we know that the meat and potatoes of this story is basically the last. It's like the second half of the second issue. And that's where Spider-Man visits the little boy who's the big fan of Spider-Man. He's collected all of his newspaper clippings and his film reels and all sorts of stuff. And Spider-Man tells him how he got his powers and all sorts of stuff. And the little kid finally asks him if he'll tell him who he really is. And, of course, Spider-Man hesitates. But before he leaves, he takes off his mask and he tells him that he's Peter Parker and that he can't tell anyone. And you can just... This is when the story takes a turn where the look on Peter's face is just so somber. And as he's leaving, he doesn't say a word. And you see that it is a cancer clinic that he was in. Real powerful stuff. It just, it shows you how truly amazing Spider-Man is, inside and out.
Nice.
I give these issues an A. Good stuff. I will be sending more feedback for more Roger Stern issues because I see on the list that you will soon be covering the Juggernaut versus Spider-Man. Oh boy, that's some great stuff there. Well, thank you all. I always
Patreon only, Russell. Sorry,
and I also love it when you return the favor. So, Phil and Lilith, I'll catch you guys later.
Catch ya.
Nice.
Yes, we all catch each other later.
What the F?
All right, so yes, we're going to be doing that on Patreon now. So,
also shout out to Chad for an excellent pun.
Yes,
he said rustle up some content in case you aren't watching on YouTube or Facebook.
Thank you, Chad. I think anytime now I have Russell feed, I'm like, let's rustle up
some content.
Let's rustle up some feedback from Russell.
Bubble boo boo.
And on that note,
all right, yes, we already did the plug, so let's get out of here. Kids, 1 week the Sausage Fest, and then 2 weeks Black Widow starts. Marvel team-ups. Maybe one day we'll get to that one. But until then, swing on back.
Thwip, 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 thwip.
Are you a fan of comic books? Are you a fan of comic book villains? Well, join me, Russell, as we take a walk on the dark side with Tomes of Evil, the podcast dedicated to discussing, analyzing, and overall glorifying the villains of Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and all your favorite indie books.
Tomes of Evil, a comic book villain podcast.